Okay, in the glossary here, alpha decay, the radioactive decay of a nucleus via emission of an alpha particle. Alpha particle, a form of radioactivity consisting of helium nuclei. Ammeter, a device for measuring electrical current. Ampere, the metric unit of current, 1 coulomb per second, also amp. Atom, the basic unit of one of the chemical elements. Atomic mass, the mass of an atom. Atomic number, the number of protons in an atom's nucleus, determines what the element is. Beta decay, the radioactive decay of a nucleus via the reaction that you see, so called because an electron or anti-electron is also known as beta particle. Beta particle, a form of radioactivity consisting of electrons. Cathode ray, the mysterious ray that emanated from the cathode in a vacuum tube, shown by Thomson to be a stream of particles smaller than atoms. Charge, a numerical rating of how strongly an object participates in electrical forces. Circuit, an electrical device in which charges can come to its starting point and be recycled rather than getting stuck in a dead end. Coulomb, the unit of electrical charge. Current, the rate at which charge crosses a certain boundary. Electric dipole, an object that has an imbalance between positive charge on one side and negative charge on the other, an object that will experience a torque in an electrical field. Electric field, the force per unit charge exerted on a test charge at a given point in space. Electrical force, one of the fundamental forces of nature, a non-contact force that can be either repulsive or attractive. Electron, Thomson's name for the particles of which a cathode ray was made, a subatomic particle. Field, a property of a point in space describing the forces that would be exerted on a particle if it was there. Fission, the radioactive decay of a nucleus by splitting it into two parts. Fusion, a nuclear reaction in which two nuclei stick together to form one bigger nucleus. Gamma ray, a form of radioactivity consisting of very high frequency form of light. Gravitational field, the force per unit mass exerted on a test mass at a given point in space. Induction, the production of an electric field by a changing magnetic field, or vice versa. Ion, an electrically charged atom or molecule. Isotope, one of the possible varieties of atoms of a given element having a certain number of neutrons. Magnetic dipole or dipole, an object such as a current loop, an atom, or a bar magnet that experiences torques due to magnetic forces. The strength of magnetic dipoles is measured by comparison with a standard dipole consisting of a square loop of wire of a given size and carrying a given amount of current. Magnetic field, a field of force defined in terms of the torque exerted on a test dipole. Mass number, the number of protons plus the number of neutrons in a nucleus, approximately proportional to its atomic mass. Millirem, a unit for measuring a person's exposure to radioactivity. CFrem. Molecule, a group of atoms stuck together. Neutron, an uncharged particle, the other type that nuclei are made of. Ohm, the metric unit of electrical resistance, 1 volt per ampere. Ohmic describes a substance in which the flow of current between 2 points is proportional to the voltage difference between them. Open circuit, a circuit that does not function because it has a gap in it. Proton, a positively charged particle, one of the types that nuclei are made of. Quantized, never get that right, describes quantities such as money or electrical charge that can only exist in certain amounts. Rem, a unit for measuring a person's exposure to radioactivity, cf. millirem. Resistance, the ratio of the voltage difference to the current in an object made of an ohmic substance. Short circuit, a circuit that does not function because charge is given a low resistance, shortcut path that it can follow instead of the path that makes it do something useful. Sink, a point at which field vectors converge. Source, a point from which field vectors diverge, often used more inclusively to refer to points of either convergence or divergence. Strong nuclear force, the force that holds nuclei together against electrical repulsion. Volt, the metric unit of voltage, 1 joule per coulomb. Voltage, electrical potential, energy, per unit charge that will be possessed by a charged particle at a certain point in space. Voltmeter, a device for measuring voltage differences. Weak nuclear force, the force responsible for beta decay.